Welcome back. Proudly South Africa is hosting the 12th annual Buy Local Summit and Expo. It comprises over 200 exhibitors and will take place at the Sandton Convention Centre on the 25th and 26th of March. To discuss, we're joined in studio by the Chief Marketing Officer of Proudly South Africa, Happy Ngidi. Great to have you with us, Ms. Ngidi. So it's 10 days away. Who is this expo for?
The expo is for local businesses in South Africa who are deserving of an access to market opportunity, and that's what we're providing for, as Proudly South African. But it's also for consumers who may be looking to purchase anything that they need to consume, whether, it's you're looking at changing your car, because we've got locally manufactured cars. You're looking for furniture for your home, for your
I think
office.
a lot of South Africans don't even know we make cars here.
You know what I mean?
South African cars.
Yes, South African. Well, but for example, German cars, but we make them in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, we do get components from Germany, but we will make the cars, assemble them in South Africa, us South Africans, and sell to the rest of the world.
So even a German car
Yes.
will be at the Proudly South African Expo.
Exactly. We'll have about 7 or 8 types of cars that we assemble in South Africa. Clothing, textile, footwear, leather sector, where we're showcasing local designers, local clothes, handbags, earrings, the shop fittings, things you need at home, carpeting, all of that. Anything and everything that you consume from a lifestyle perspective. We have in one room over 200 products that are locally made by South Africans for South African, contributing to the value chain and to the economy of the country.
Are you targeting the little buyer, though, if I'm looking for a carpet, or somebody who's a middleman or a wholesaler and wants more stock made in South Africa?
We're targeting everybody.
Okay.
So you can
it's open to
everybody. Open for to everybody. You may be a person who just wants to buy something for yourself or a gift for somebody, but you may be a retailer that's looking to buy in bulk and go sell at your shop. Whatever it may be, we have something for everybody who will walk the floors at the Buy Local Summit and Expo.
What good stories do you have to tell from previous expos? I mean, have major deals been done?
In fact, in the middle of the expo floor, we have a big bell. And the reason why we have that is that when a small business clinches a deal with a big retailer, we ring the bell and we celebrate their deal. And we encourage other exhibitors in the room to do the same thing. We have beautiful stories, not a tick box exercise, real stories, where in the past small businesses have gone to the Buy Local Summit and Expo, and they've walked away with supplying great local goods for the private sector, for the public sector, and also for consumers. So it's really an amazing access to market opportunity. I mean, we offer the view as Proudly South African that you have a great brand that you manufacture locally, or a great idea, a great IP, but if you don't have a market to sell your product to, it defeats the purpose, right? You will shut down, you will let go of stuff, your business is not going to make it, and we're bridging that gap as Proudly South African in creating this wonderful opportunity.
So it's a great marketing tool for small businesses. Does Proudly South Africa choose those businesses? Do they apply? Are there fees? How do they get onto that?
And I'm glad you went there. So it's a benefit for companies that are members of Proudly South African. We are a member-based campaign.
Okay.
And so everybody who's exhibiting their product at the show are members of the campaign. So you can't just come in this week and hope to get in. It's a whole process that takes about 12 months to put together. And so, for example, a small business, an entrepreneur who has a great product, they pay us 500 Rand per annum to be able to be part of this
Which is a small fee for the opportunity.
Yes, it is. And also, it doesn't limit it just to the Buy Local Summit. Throughout the period of 12 months, for the duration of your membership as a brand or a product, there's many other, opportunities that you are then, exposed to and you're part of.
So localization is a drum that South Africa has been beating for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's all good and well to say buy South African. But in this economic climate, often people just want the best they can get, the cheapest, wherever that comes from.
Yeah.
And you have to be the best and cheapest. and all. What do you think we are doing well right now?
You know, so it's a mind shift process. And we come a long way. If you had asked me this question 7, 10 years ago, I would have said it's a struggle. But now South Africans have an appreciation and they have a better understanding that when they make a purchasing decision in favor of a local product, it does contribute to creating jobs and sustaining the jobs that we currently have. But we are also realistic in the sense that, and you're spot on, you know, many families in South Africa, they don't care about where the product comes from. They care about whether they can afford it, and whether, you know, their pocket is deep enough, and whether they can have a decent plate of food tonight for their families. And so we're mindful of that, and we're saying, if and when you can, and you go to the shops and you're in a position to make a decision, you know, on whether you can purchase a locally manufactured good, please do that. Just look at the country of origin and remember that by so doing, you are contributing to the kind of country and economy that we would all like to see.
But do you walk away from these expos, I don't know if you have insight into what is going to be on the floor right now, and say, that is something that we are doing that is world class anyway. So consumers should be buying that product or from that company regardless of whether it's South African or not. It's wonderful.
And there is always a local replacement of any product that you may be looking for, you know, and it is that spirit where we say to South Africans, there's always an option, you know, between whether you get a product that has been brought into the country, which is important, but you've got to do that in moderation and prioritize on locally manufactured products. In fact, the buy local narrative is a tried and tested method the world over. Every country pushes its own economy, and in South Africa, we're no different. We've got to do the same thing. It's got to start feeling a little uncomfortable, and you've got to start feeling like you've done something wrong if you don't purchase anything local. If we don't do it,
isn't that a bit of a guilt trip?
Not really. Not really. It's really not intended to do that. It's intended to make you think, because it can be. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's as small as supporting, you know, the seamstress down the road from you. It's supporting a spaza shop down the road from you. It's about understanding and having an appreciation of the fact that when you do make a purchasing decision in favor of a local product, you are creating job creation and sustaining their jobs. And remember that the reality in South Africa is that we all know somebody who's looking for a job, you and I, or somebody who's watching us. And what are we going to do about it?
We've run out of time. What is your quick message to South Africans, as proudly South Africa, in an election year? There's a lot of uncertainty, not only economic. There are already threats. Any message?
Well, the message is that, let's try to be the difference that we would like to see as a people. Let's support localization. It could be our saving grace. And also just to say that the Buy Local Summit and Expo is free. Free registration. Go to our website and our social media platforms and register and come see good stories that South Africa has to offer and good products that we make as South Africans to try and make a difference in our country.
All right, and just to tell the viewers, the theme is localization and inclusive approach for economic growth and job creation, which is exactly what you were talking about.
Yes,
do your bit, it leads to jobs. So we've given everybody something to do on the 25th and 26th of March. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That was Chief Marketing Officer at Proudly South Africa, Happy Ngidi. With that, let's take a look at your main financial indicators.